We might just be both going crazy. I don't know. Before we go on to the horror games, I forgot. Sorry, we have to do the accountability circle. This is also like a good chance to show you all that the accountability circle both works and doesn't work. So, what is the accountability circle? For those of you who don't know, the accountability circle. Oh god, there's no streamer mode. So if you there's no streamer mode. Maybe I should turn on streamer mode. The accountability circle is a place where we all get to basically peer pressure each other into doing the things that we want to do. There is a sense of like, oh, if you don't do it and then you have to tell everyone that you don't do it, what does that feel like? We don't shame somebody for not doing something, but the subtle implications of that fear somehow do a lot to convince people to get this shit done. It's funny too that I have the heart monitor on during this point, because if I go, because like reading yours, it's gonna fall. Reading mine is gonna go up to like 120. But the whole goal of this, again, is to help you, okay? And this time, there's going to be an added criteria for Halloween. Okay, it's going up, and I don't know why it's going up. I'm freaking out. This thing is broken, right? Why is my heart rate 103? What is a normal, casual heart rate? A normal resting heart rate for adults ranges from 60 to 100. I'm dying. Generally, a lower heart rate at rest implies a more efficient heart function and better cardiovascular fitness. I'm dying. A well-trained athlete might have a normal resting heart rate closer to 40 beats per minute. Why does streamer mode not do anything for the Japanese names? That's a good point, actually. To be fair, it's like how many people in this chat can read Japanese, and so therefore, and also how many people in the chat can type Japanese, and so therefore you're fine. Because also it's the same for me too, where like my name isn't changed too. I'm still the host body. I'm assuming it's only the names that are your usernames. It probably concatenates, it probably shrinks and masks your username. But if you add in alias, then it won't hide it. Because mine is an alias and it should be hiding it, but it's not. It could also be that streamer mode doesn't protect me, which would almost defeat the purpose of streamer mode. Like, if the streamer mode doesn't protect the streamer, what's the point of a streamer mode from a technical standpoint? It doesn't make any sense. Or sorry, not from a technical standpoint. From a technical standpoint, it makes sense because your developers have less to do. Like, if I was a developer, which I am, and then many times I've had a feature where I go, I don't get the point of this feature that I'm implementing here. And then I do it anyways, and like that was a waste of time. If I can just be like, it doesn't make sense, close it, and my product person says yes, close it, that's a good thing. Okay, so they probably did that. Sorry. So both you and so me, you and this other chatter who I know who they are, but I won't say their name. We're going to get doxxed. So what was I talking about? The check-in, right? So the check-in. This time around, there's going to be a new criteria. How scary is it? So for the entire month of Halloween, for the entire month of October, sorry, not the entire month of, I mean, it basically is just a Halloween month. But for the entire month of October, I'm also going to score you based on how terrifying it is from a 1 to 5 of how spooky and scary your goal is. And what I mean by that is how much dread it makes me feel, and also just how genuinely terrifying it is, okay? Because some things are terrifying. Like if you say one of your goals is I'm going to give birth, and I find parenthood terrifying, I would go, wow, that's a 5 out of 5 for me. But if you say I want to walk my dog 3 times a week, and I say, well, it's easy to walk a dog, therefore you're a failure if you don't do it every day, then I go, that's a 1 out of 5 from me. You're a failure. Or maybe it's a 5 out of 5 because you and I live in the same world. Like, you could be my boss, or you could be my employee, or you could be my coworker, or you could be somebody who's like making my food, right? Like the same level of care that you have for your dog could apply to the food that you make for me that I eventually put inside my mouth. So then it upgrades to a 4 out of 5. And it's a 5 out of 5 if you're my family. Well, I'm too used to my family being like weird, so I'll say my family's like a 1 out of 5. The mod also did mention from her last goal that she did finish her book by 64%, and she wants to finish it by this week. And she also wants to do some note-taking. As well, we have a newcomer to this, Moro-kun, Moro Drago no Kun. I can't say the name. I'm trying really hard to say the name, but it's really hard. They have 2 art projects that they're currently working on. They want to finish their sketch in Krita and learn about masking layers, and they want to revisit their large canvas painting of a dragon. You're still stuck in the meeting, and you can't hear everything. Okay, chat. Okay, chat. Everybody. When I highlight their words, I want all of you to type into the chat. Wow, that's so cool. Just like be really excited. Okay, everyone type as if you're super ecstatic about this like thing that this chatter has like that. Okay, Krita gang. Krita gang. What is? Yeah, seriously. How do people know about Krita now? Like it's because this is the thing, right? When I tell people in real life about Krita, even like my designer friends, like what the fuck is Krita? When I tell my chat about Krita, it seems like everyone knows about Krita. It's like how do all of you know about Krita? But at the same time, all of us have some relation to working within tech, right? So it makes sense. First off, the goals for this week. Okay, so again, last week's goals, it went very, very well, except for mine. Mine didn't go super well. This week has also gone terribly, and I'll explain why. But everyone has updated their goals. Lloyd Hentai wants to update their game servers with mods, Cobblemon and FiveM. I had no clue that you could install FiveM on your own server. I had no clue that they had a GTA 5 server. I had no clue that their server setup was that complicated. Like I thought. Because when I think of servers, I think of like my $5 a year VPS that I use and I just expose to the internet, and it crashes if like more than 5 people try to like send a single ephemeral packet to it. Like it's like they just send a single packet to some port, it's a UDP port, and it just goes inside there, and then they kill the connection. Like it's not really a connection. And then the server dies processing it because there's just not enough things. So the fact that they can run a GTA 5 server that has a mod that's the FiveM mod, which if you don't know what FiveM is, it's not the RP mod. It's actually just I thought for the longest time that it was the GTA RP thing, but it's just a mod. And I don't really know what it is though. So it's like I don't know if it's a framework for a mod or if it itself is a mod, but it is a mod for the game. I don't really know what this is. Run your own server. Create your own server. Make your dreams come true. Our multiplayer modification framework provides a vast set of tools to personalize the gameplay experience of your server. Using our advanced and unique features, you can make anything you wish. Roleplay, drifting, racing, deathmatch, and something completely original. Okay, so maybe it is for roleplay, or it could be for roleplay. Streaming. FiveM allows servers to use custom maps, cars, maps, weapons, and more dynamically. AI. Allow servers to keep the original game AI, so you'll never be alone. You can also PvE. What is PvE? FiveM uses Rockstar's network code with improvements, so you're the best sync around. FiveM doesn't modify your GTA 5 installation, so you can switch between GTO and FiveM without being banned. Cookbook. Now, what's interesting is that, dear God, what I do remember is that if you go to the Rockstar Games Wikipedia, so this is like a fun fact, they actually acquired FiveM. So they acquired CFX RE, Citizen FX. The team behind the modding platform is FiveM and RedM, which is interesting because you would never have expected that from any other company except for Valve. But Rockstar Games has somehow basically become the UK version of Valve. And the coolest part is this is like the modding platform, because like everything that I hear that involves GTA 5 modding always involves this. So it's pretty cool that they sort of take this team in and they say, okay, now you have not, because it's like not only do you have official resources as part of the acquisition, but you also have official access as part of that acquisition, right? Because that's sort of the. Do you hear the ice, by the way? That's like part of the problem with like modding in the general is that you're often working from, like you're often working backwards. Like you might be. Do I have Gidra installed? Do you have? Okay, no, I don't have those. Okay, like oftentimes this is what you'll see. And this is like a much better view of what you'll see, okay? Like you might see something like this. Warning, flashbang warning. You might see something like this. This is IL Spy that allows you to go in and it basically, it disassembles C# DLLs, which include the intermediate language that C# is compiled into that is eventually run by whatever the fuck it is. I don't know. I've been trying to figure that out. I still don't know really how C# works. But all I know is that if you just use this, you do actually get usable code that you can look at. In fact, we can look at the code for Peak. So if I go to Peak and I look for their one DLL, which I can't remember where the DLL is. Sorry, just give me a second. Photon, no. System, no. Is it system? It might be system. Is it system that DLL? I don't really know. Unity engine, the video module, no. Zoro? I think it was Zoro. Zoro auto LOD, UI runtime. What it opened last time? Is there a recent files list? Is there a recent files list that I opened? No. oh, assembly, here we go. So like you can go into Peak, for instance, and you can open it up, but this doesn't really help you understand anything. Like, and like this is the thing, right? Even if you have it here and you just pull it open, it doesn't really help you figure things out. You still have to go through and actually like figure out the flow of things yourself, which is sort of the annoying part, where it's like, okay, sure, like I'm looking at the code for like Peak disassembled, but it's like I don't have any guidance as to like the documentation that helps explain this from a high level. You have to figure out the structure on your own. Some things are a bit more understandable, but other things are like, what the fuck is fast abort, right? Like it's like you won't know what this maps to until you just because without documentation, the code does not represent the actual underlying. It doesn't represent the real game that you play, right? So anytime you mod something, it's a little bit more frustrating than just going in and like modding the thing with like official resources, because you have to work backwards from what is already there. I actually don't even know if I was legally allowed to show you that, because I remember something about disassembling being illegal, but I digress. It's just to show you how much work it is, okay? And that's for a language that can be decompiled successfully. A lot of different languages, you're going to be using something like, I don't know, like Gidra, I don't know, where it's like, I mean, before it was Eda Pro, but this thing costs like $100, but also everyone that I know just pirates it. So, but you would disassemble it, and sometimes it would give you usable code. But you can even look in this like in this snippet here. What the hell is fun v3? What is unsigned int v5? The disassembler doesn't know, because to the disassembler it gets like for like most of the time it's just working with like the actual compiled form of the thing, which is, you know, usually it's working from like the assembly backwards, and then it's like, okay, well, what does it all mean? I don't know. So it's like most of the time you don't really have a good way to like mod things. So the fact that they were able to do so for an online server, which mind you, it's not like the GTA 5 online server has ever been released. That's a pretty cool thing, yeah? The fact that we have a chatter who's running this server on their own, which is, I mean, it's like a different scale, right? Because it's like, oh, you're just running the server versus you're making a server. But still, I can't imagine having to get a server that's strong enough to run the damn thing. Start Silent Hill F at some point. That won't be us this Halloween, and I'll explain why once we get to some more horror game stuff. De-stress and breathe. I hope that you got to de-stress. If anything, it's just like the scene from The Wolf of Wall Street, right? By the way, can you read this? Look, it will be hard to come close to this euphoria. Again, image of Jackpot 5, okay? Reference to scene in Wolf of Wall Street. Do you jackpot? Ask Matthew McConaughey in Wolf of Wall Street to Leonardo da Vinci, age 37, as a play into the fact that he only dates 25 and under-year-olds. Yes, says Leonardo 5 times daily in reference to Jackpot times 5. Can anybody say that I'm a literary genius? Anyways, hopefully you did de-stress, but we'll see the results of your goals soon. You also want to do for your professional goals. So I did like how you split this, by the way, how you split your personal goals and your professional goals, because a lot of the time, the goals that we set for ourselves are tied in some way to some professional development, right? And early on, I think that's a good choice. Like for the first like 5 years of my career, I basically didn't see my family. I was like, sorry guys, I'm literally too busy trying to get a raise to go from like, you know, the 45K starting, which in my mind was way too low for the work that I was doing, all the way to whatever it was before certain things happened, right? So until that moment, I was like, okay, like I'm trying to go up and up and up. And I basically didn't see my family for like 5 years, but it paid off. And it pays dividends later on, because now I have choice to be able to like go and do certain things, right? However, past a certain point, and even to a certain degree, I would argue it's very important to have your own goals, because if you just focus on your professional development the entire time, you sort of lose a sense of yourself. And that's important to keep, because in the end, a lot of yourself sort of like sort of bleeds into your work. Like a lot of who you are and a lot of the things that you do in your own time bleeds into the stuff that you do. Like your interests might sort of like naturally blossom into some professional thing. But even just in general, even if it doesn't, it's still worth it to do just because you want to do it for yourself. Like, I'm into a lot of things from a development standpoint that just aren't useful in my day-to-day jobs. Like, most of my jobs have been web development of some kind, which is really, really boring. Most of my jobs, like, only one was fairly low level, and that was like a fluke that it was even low level. Just for some reason, we had to work with a series of printers, and then the team, like for some reason, the CTO, he was like, we had to build our own thing, and I was like, okay, I'll just do it, sure. And that was just a pure fluke because we could have just bought something off the shelf, yeah. So, but all these skills that I have are interesting because it allows me to do so much more long term, and it gives me a perspective on these things that I wouldn't have had otherwise. The key is that perspective, right? That growth that I have in being able to do all of these things. It allows me to sort of understand and then build off of that. And those skills that I have from building off of that, interesting perspective, though it might not relate 100%, there's like pieces of it that you can apply to the context that you're working in for work. But also just if it never applies, I'm having fun with my life. You know what I mean? Oh God, printers, no. Well, so this one was like I'll talk a little bit about it. I could probably talk about it. It's. I did not know this, but it's like the here professional printer. They're massive. It actually took a team like multiple days to install it. It's like I'm trying to see it. I think it's like the Canon Pro series. Like for sure, it was a Canon printer, but it was like the giant Canon giant printers. Multiple multi-part large format. No, it's Canon professional printers. I'm trying to find like an image that shows. Holy shit! Yeah, it is. Does this image show it? Maybe. You're currently viewing pro video. Okay, well, how about you just fucking show me, man? How about you show me large format printing? Here we go. Large format printing. What is the what is the best large format printer? Here we go. 4 by 8 feet. No, that's pretty small. The one that we had was like multiple feet. Actually, the one that we had was like, holy shit. The one that I had was like 24 feet or something. I'm trying to find the exact one. The one that I had was like a 24-foot one. It was actually massive. I don't think they show it on their website. I think that's when you have to call them to get like a special order because it was like for a factory. It was huge. Okay, well I can't find it, but it's like a giant printing thing. It goes through multiple processes, and it was designed to like output things really really quickly, and it had multiple outputting stations, but it had like one single intake flow or something. It was very cool, and but the key was that it was massive and it was designed for like massive speed, and it was designed for on demand printing because the way that it worked was like we basically finalized things 5 minutes before getting things out the door, so we had to do this. Otherwise, it just wasn't going to work. Like just by the nature of the product and by the nature of how it worked, that's the way that it was. And so it's like we had on-demand printing needs that had to be done within like, you know, the moment that it was needed. It has to go out the door. This thing goes across an entire floor. Like I'm at the facility with my IT guy, and I'm like, "Have you ever worked with this?" And he's like, "No, never." So me and him are like basically going in blind, and our CTO is like, "Guys, I don't know the shit either, but we need this." But because he was like, I know it's possible, I've seen it done, and we need this now because it's the only way that we're gonna make these like certain constraints with our business. Anyways, why did I get on this point? Look, I'm just saying, okay, look, besides stuff like that, okay, I haven't worked with like the stuff that I learned, but it's good to have personal goals for yourself. Sorry about that. The coffee isn't working. This new chatter came in, and they were like, and so people have given us some updates, and I think last time, also, I think there was one from, I don't think Mint set any goals for this week. So the ones that have dropped off are Mint. The mod, she tells me on my personal account, which I'll update you later on. She also tends to forget, so I'll remind her later. But Mint, I think this time is busy, so they didn't take part in this week's. So now we get into the results, and also mine. Sorry, what are mine? Right, my goals were slightly different goals. Working out 5 days a week instead of 7, because 7 days was just too much. And I learned about the idea that like anabolic or something, where it's like if you do running, it sends the wrong signals to your body, and then you start to lose muscle mass. And I didn't want that, so I'm doing the opposite way, where I'm going 5 days in instead. And I want to wake up even earlier because I want to make use of the mornings. As well as other things, because between Spooktober stream planning and setup, as well as other responsibilities, I can only manage that much now. And then I threw in another one for myself because I was doing this anyways. I wanted to finish this mod that I had the idea of, that I actually was in the middle of doing something for, which is it was going to be a mod for Peak, where as you fall, if you fall for a certain period of time, which is like a very short amount of time. But it's like it's meant to capture like the longer falls where you're going to fail and you have no stamina. The game will play the Jet 2 holiday meme sound where you are, and it'll have all the same echo and the stuff that it normally would. Hello, chat. Hello. And so the goal of it was to be like, oh no, like you're falling, Jet 2 holiday meme as you're falling to your death. And then it stops as soon as you hit the ground and you stay stable. But the problem is that the way that the game sort of is, it's not clear to me. Sorry, it's not clear to me where in the code I can sort of like hook into something like that, where it's like a fall because you have no stamina thing. So that was sort of a problem. But also, I didn't have time. So let's get into the update. Sorry. This chatter, this new chatter, Moro, and again, because they can't hear us, you can try to type as enthusiastically as you can and then go like, woohoo, yay, go. I'm 95% done with my sketch in Krita. There are 2 additional details that they wanted to add. You thought that they thought that they were done yesterday, but they had an idea to add more. This is the curse. This is the fundamental curse of all creative efforts. I think this is the fundamental curse of anybody who makes anything. Is when you have the idea to add more, okay? This is the thing that always gets me and always forces me to be a little bit later than I should be, and it never really is that much better. Hala Dast as profile in Discord, the person you read from now on. What? What is a Dala Host? Oh, horse. Wait, isn't it the horse? What's these horses? Wait, that's what it's called. I had no clue that that's what these things are called. Is it the horses? As profile in Discord, the person that I read from now. Oh, their profile picture is this horse. Thank you. I was like, okay, now I get it. Yeah, because I was wondering what the image is. Yeah, because I always see this image everywhere, not just in their profile picture, but like I've seen this horse. This horse is in my dreams, and I was always wondering what exactly is this horse. That's cool. Thank you. They took some time, to look at masking layers in Krita, but couldn't make up their mind on colors or what effect they wanted to do. It's from Dalarna County. Wow. Or Ian. Dalarna County horses. Why is it colorful? Okay, I'll go down the Wikipedia after. But they couldn't make up their mind on the colors and what effect that they wanted to do. The masking layer stuff in art software, I don't get. So kudos to them, because I would not be able to figure any of it out. What the fuck are these lyrics? There we go. They also didn't find time to work on their other painting. They only really had time to do that on the weekends, and last weekend was too hectic. They're ready for the rocks. I don't know what this means. Oh, sorry. I remember now. Because when we fail, the joke was that we'd be throwing rocks at people, but that's not true. At first, I thought they were ready for like a drink on the rocks, like on ice, to like drink their sorrows away. And I was gonna say, don't drink your sorrows away, because that's a bad habit. But no, what they meant was that they literally are ready for rocks to be thrown at their face. So, don't worry, the rocks won't be hitting you. You are safe now. And you know what? It's fine, because again, failing your goals is not a major problem, right? Sometimes we fail. Sometimes we aim too high. Sometimes we aim too low. And life is complicated. Things just get in the way. You never really know, right? I deal with that on a daily basis. Everybody has this like monopoly on my time. And I can't say no, otherwise they get pissed. And then they get mad at me that they're inconveniencing me. It's actually one of the worst things in the world, where it's like, look, because it's like, from my point of view, right? I just need, like a 30-minute heads up, and I can do anything for someone. Just give me like a heads up, half an hour before you need me. No one ever does that, right? So if they can't meet my standard, why would they be mad at me? But that's the thing, is that sometimes life is irrational, and we just have to deal with the fact that the people in their lives are insane. I'm not talking about my wife. It's not my wife's fault, okay? This is like other people in my life where I'm like, you are absolutely insane. So you know what? The fact that you got anything done is a testament to your will to try and get things done in spite of the challenges. So you know what? +1 point. And I will say, this is not as spooky. In terms of spookiness, none of this seems scary to me. The only thing is, except for the rocks bumps it up to 2 spooky points. So you get 2 spooky points for this one. And the spooky points will matter. every spooky point is worth half a normal point. I decided on halves because I figured it was easier than doubles, because doubles would inflate the whole thing too much. But maybe I'll go with doubles, because then it's like, how do you do half a point? Anyways, fuck it. I'll just round up. This other chat, Lord Hentai. They updated Cobblemon. That's it. So 5M has not been updated. They're enjoying Silent Hill F, and I really enjoyed that they put one of their goals as playing a video game. I think that's a very important goal. It's like, even just the goal to like relax and have fun with your own time, that's a very important goal, because if you don't do that, you're basically you'll always be stuck in a place where you're always pushing for too much, and you'll never have time for yourself to like do anything fun. Because goals themselves are not just for things that will help you become a better person. They can be things like, I'm gonna set a goal to like just be alive for a moment. Because, if you're not alive, and then what's the point of living? You know what I mean? Not to get nihilistic. Well, I mean, maybe to get just a little nihilistic, right? I think for Halloween, it's for the entire month, it's like a good time to get a little bit nihilistic, and just be like, hey, like maybe life isn't worth living. But it is good, and they can't wait to play more. They can almost fulfill the third one, which is de-stress and debrief. Their professional goals did not go to plan. I'm actually curious why it didn't go to plan, but they don't have to expand on it. This gets 3 scary points for me. Nihilism gang. All the nihilists in the corner going, gang, like really monotone and really sad, like gang. It's like, yeah, we get it. You hate your life. Type shit. All the nihilists. all the anarcho nihilists, all the anarcho nihilists in the warehouse going, type shit. It's like everyone's like all depressed and stuff. Oh man, that's a funny image. As to my goals, so again, I also put in my goals of work out 5 days a week. I don't know what was the other goal. So you can sort of tell that it didn't work. Wake up early enough, and also try to make the mod. So the mod idea failed miserably. I had no time to work on it for the entire week. I had other things to do in terms of like job interviews and sort of job applications and the stuff, as well as just like random shit that like people needed me for. Again, going back to that idea of like, I need people to respect the fact that like I got shit to do too, and it's like I'm not trying to be like an asshole, but I can do anything if people just give me a half an hour heads up. If people call me beforehand and they tell me like an hour in advance, I could do anything. But because they don't, I have no time for anything, because like everything gets thrown out of array basically. But also, I was planning like a lot of the Spooktober stuff. So there was actually supposed to be more that you're supposed to see on screen. It's just when I was making it, when I was tweaking it, I realized I couldn't get it done in time. So it's a scene that I'm doing for both the accountability circle as well as like the general scene of the Spooktober stuff that I couldn't get done. There was actually supposed to be like a spooky intro, and I failed, but it will be done. But yeah, so I didn't make the mod. I only worked out for 3 days this week, and I couldn't even wake up that early, though I did kind of, but I didn't really get much done. Well, I got a lot done. Basically, I wake up at like 9, so I wanted to wake up at like 7 a.m. because I wanted to get, back into the flow of what it's going to be like once I go back to work, right? But 9 a.m. is still pretty good. The problem is that from 9 a.m. onwards, like, I realized that it's hard to do anything within the 1 or 2 hours before I have to do something else, right? Because I do things when the house is empty, because then that's the only time that I don't get bothered. It's basically the only time when I have peace so I can actually get shit done, yeah? When people won't ask me, hey, do you have a moment to help me with this thing that I could do by myself? It's like, fuck off, I'm busy. So I only have about like an hour, and it wasn't enough time. So I still need to hit the 7 a.m. time, because in that 1 hour, I imagined all the things that I could do, and I feel like for 3 hours, I could do way, way more. So I didn't finish any of my goals. So you can throw the rocks at me. The mod, I don't know what her thing is. This week, and in terms of my spookiness, it's like a complete one. There was nothing for it, but also I don't get points, so it doesn't matter. Look, all I'm saying is that failure is perfectly normal. Perfectly normal to fail. This time around, it's kind of hard. And I imagine it's just gonna be hard in general, because as we get into the holiday months, I want to say the last 3 months of every year feels like a wash in terms of productivity, no matter where you are. Well, I mean, it depends. If you celebrate Christmas in general, like if you're in a place that celebrates Christmas and like the winter time, then it's basically a wash, because from Halloween, from October onwards, it's end of the year. There's nothing more that you can really do. You've effectively, and if you're in a place that budgets things, so if you have a budget that you set at the start of the year for all of your ventures for the rest of the year, then this is the time when you've basically run out of. You usually run out of budget within September, and then October is you trying to stretch your last bit of budget. So you're basically just doing like very low grade stuff. Everybody starts to take a holiday around now because again it's like holiday season, and yeah, it just ends up being like a very very nice chill time where not a lot of things happen. But it also means that in many ways you get busier, right? It's like for like the first I don't know 9 months of a year, you basically have all this time to work on things that you want to work on because everybody's busy. Even the people who would normally need you are themselves busy with their lives. And so it's very easy to like double down on the things that you want to do. Whereas I totally expect for the next 3 months for the accountability circle to like be much more constrained in scope. Oh, they made it. People arrive. Hello. You missed out on the rocks. There was a lot of rocks being thrown at you. No, I'm just kidding. I also failed my goals. The thing that I was saying is that failure is a fine, and that this time around, I think for these next coming 3 months, the accountability circle will probably die down because it's the holiday season. The holiday season is just always going to take more time out of our lives because even to rest, relax, and recuperate requires an amount of effort to get into that mindset because you have to like prepare things for it. Like you can't just have a holiday break. You have to like take time off, and you have to like figure out who's gonna take your shift. You have to like coordinate things, and then even when you have time off, it's just time to recover and like do stuff that you need to do anyways, right? So I expect this thing to sort of go downhill. But hopefully it doesn't because again, even small personal goals are important to keep up even during these moments of like, oh, now you have life responsibilities because again, if you lose that part of yourself and you just live to be a drone to like clean up after your own mess, it's sort of like it's like, are you really alive? I'm not really sure. So for this week, try to set your goals, okay? And again, it can be as large as you want, it can be as small as you want. Always try to push as far as you can, okay? Even though I failed and even though I'm not setting a good standard, I will still try my best to push very far. And as always, at the end of every stream, I'm going to set my goals. So my goals for the upcoming week are, because this is sort of like an easy way to get people into it, is when they see you doing your own goals, and then they don't feel as pressured when they do their goals. I'm basically the test dummy. Force people, what is life responsibilities? I guess anything really. Like it's like a very generic term, but it's like even something as simple as like, oh, now I gotta deep clean the house. That's life. Like it could be as something as large as that. It could be as large as like someone in your family is now dead and you have to deal with like some like funeral stuff. Or it could be as small as I gotta walk my like dog. Maybe it gets a little bit harder during winter. Maybe your walks take longer, right? Like it's like as soon as it starts snowing, for instance, for me, it's gonna be way easier because my Chihuahua can't go outside, so my Chihuahua just stays in the doors. So I gain time there, but I lose time elsewhere because as soon as it starts snowing, I have to spend an hour every morning shoveling, which is fine because like you have to, and I would rather do it than like give someone money to like do it for them. Like I don't get the point of paying people to like shovel snow, but I hate doing it regardless. Like I'll do it. I just hate I hate people. I hate paying people to shovel snow more than I hate shoveling snow. But I still hate shoveling snow because I live in Canada where the snowfall is intense. Like some days it's fine. Other days you're like up to your stomach in like snow and I don't know what to do. Anyways, my goals for the week are force people to give me a heads up beforehand. Otherwise, before they need me. Otherwise, I leave them. Otherwise, I don't respond to last minute requests and basically leave them to dry for at least a half hour so the point settles in. And also finish the Spooktober the new Spooktober scene that I wanted to get done before Spooktober started, but couldn't due to other time constraints. And also finish the accountability circle scene for the upcoming week. Because the accountability circle is also getting its own scene where all of you are going to actually be physical people within the space. And for now, it's you don't really get to choose what you look like. But in the future, this will all be tied into the system. I've actually been working on the system very slowly, chipping away at it piece by piece, and you will enjoy what it is. Is it going to be a circle? It's gonna be It's gonna be like a round table. So it's gonna be I'll give you like a sneak peek. This time it's gonna be like a round, almost like office slash dinner table with like a summoning circle in the middle, but only for October. And then when October's done, it's gonna be an office. Because I think it's funny. I think it's funny if we do it in an office setting. And so everyone's gonna look like a generic office person, and like initially it's gonna be like a single model, so everyone's gonna be skeletons. I'm sorry, but I don't know how to allow you to like choose yet. But once I'm done with because there's a temporary page on the website that's going to go live once this is all ready, but not for this week. Where you get to choose and like stuff. But I need to actually get the main system done first because I need to build the system entirely. Because I didn't want to use a game engine for it, which I'm starting to go back on because I realize it's kind of stupid and I'd rather use a game engine for it. But I digress. It's going to be interesting, and I hope that you enjoy this. Can we have cubicle? You don't like open office spaces? No. This is everybody sits at the round table in the office room. It's a meeting room, okay? Everybody has to hear each other speak. And I stand behind you menacingly, my hands on your shoulders, being like, tell us what your goals are. Did you finish your goals? It's meant to be very unsettling. It's the whole scene is meant to be incredibly unsettling in spite of the messaging of the thing itself. Like, it's like the messaging of the thing is that everybody is allowed to do things. That's workplace harassment. Yes, but it's virtual. It's virtual. Therefore, it's not real. No, I'm just kidding. Even if it's virtual, it's still real. But in this case, you opt in to you opt in and you agree to be like forced to like give your update. Okay, it's just a part of the system. It's just a part of the game. But yeah, hopefully I get all this done soon. Especially for me because like the job interviews have sort of slowed down again. It's been nice that I have a bit more time for myself. I just need to like make sure that people know that like, hey, I'm busy making things. And again, it's not like these things are, or it's interesting too because like I have like two versions of everything that I make where it's like anonymized versus like a part of it, and then I just sort of show it on my like portfolio. So it's like every little thing that you see here shows up on my portfolio somewhere. Where it's like it's just slightly anonymized in some way to where you can't trace it back, but it has all the same like underlying technicalities. Obviously, it hasn't been much, but like that's sort of the goal with my stuff. So yeah, that's it. That's the accountability circle for this week. The next accountability circle will be on. I will get the date right now using Discord time. So on my time zone, which I think is probably. I don't know. It's like EST, I think. It's in EST. It's going to be October 10th. So next Friday. Every single Friday, it will be this. Except the last Friday of the month is Halloween. I don't know what my wife and I are doing for Halloween. If we're giving out candy, we're not going to do it. If we aren't giving out candy, we'll do it then. So the Halloween celebration might be on the 30th for us, or it might be on the 31st. I don't know. But depending on what day I'll be busy, that's when we'll be doing it. And it will also include some other mainstays of the Halloween day. I'm hoping to do it on Halloween day because we always do it on Halloween day with this like very interesting sort of like style of like, you know, I guess like hangout. So hopefully it works out. But the next accountability circle will be held on October 10th, my time. Glad you missed your first accountability circle. Don't worry. You know what? Even though you missed it, at least you're here now, right? At least you're available for the moment now. And in a way, you're even unluckier because the first time we didn't have rocks. We didn't have rocks. Renting them and trading $10 a day. Anyways, we're going to move on now. I've stalled long enough, and I don't know if I'm ready for this, but we're going to play some horror games. This list of horror games is actually very interesting. I've been waiting to play these games for a long time. They came out after Halloween of last year, so I couldn't get to them. But also, we were stuck on Silent Hill. I'll get into more about the horror game stuff in just a moment. But when I start this one, I think you'll enjoy this game. Just give me a moment to set things up.